So as per usual, every year I do a yearly Blu-ray collection tour. I tell you all the Blu-rays I have, and then in one of the corners we have how many I haven't seen, and the other one is the total amount. And this is usually every time of the year where I show off a lot of my movies I hadn't seen. But then the other half is mainly movies that I've seen that I just wanted to get because as a kid I never was able to really get my hands on them. Anyways, here we go. I will say it though, I do have a bunch of movies scattered, or Blu-rays and that scattered about my room. For like decorative purposes, essentially. Like I have a bunch of Jurassic Park Blu-rays in that there. I got the new Coraline 4K there. Got some Ghostbusters, John Wick. Yeah, so and then off camera over there, there's I have my Steelbooks. Mainly the Steelbooks are on display. The ones that don't have protective cases are right here. But yeah. Also, my Blu-ray collection is set up to how I prefer it. I have this one shelf here, and then I have them on those two rows, and then my horror movies have been slowly getting kicked off that third row there. I need to make another one of these shelves and that. But let's get to it. Although I don't want to pull out the Stranger Things. I do have the Stranger Things Season 1 Blu-ray collectible. I did technically start Stranger Things on Netflix, but I haven't continued. I'm like halfway through episode 2 of the first season. But I'm going to grab the rest of these that are here on the row. So starting off this first row, I have the complete series of Avatar: The Last Airbender with the slip. I also have Legend of Korra. I'm pretty sure I had a slip. I thought I had a slip cover for this, but I apparently don't. Out of the two, I prefer Last Airbender, like I think most people do. Also, I'm noticing there's a lot of shadow, so I might pop on another light. I have the sun diffused in my window. This is something I've been slowly working away at. I prefer to have each season individually, so like the collections and that, although that's the only way you can get Avatar: Legend of Korra, but now we have Big Bang Theory Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, Season 4, Season 5, and Season 6. I'm slowly working my way to collecting them all. And then I do have Doctor Who on DVD. I have the complete Eccleston Tennant run. I have the complete Matt Smith and Capaldi run. I don't have all of Jodie Whittaker's, but I did pick up some Doctor Who Blu-rays that I was going to cover in the Christmas special. And that is Time of the Doctor, Matt Smith's final episode, if you don't count his little cameo in Deep Breath, and then Peter Capaldi's first Christmas special, Last Christmas. I do want to get maybe Doctor Who on Blu-ray in that though. And then starting off my anime stuff, we have Dragon Ball Super Part 1 and Dragon Ball Super Part 2. Continuing onto the second shelf, we have Part 3, Part 4, Part 5, Part 6, Part 8. I need 7, 9, and 10. And then another TV show, I have Season 1, 2, and 3 of CW's The Flash. I don't know if I want to get the rest of the seasons because I kind of fell off on Season 4 when they did the whole trial of Barry Allen where he was framed for DeVoe's murder, spoiler alert. And also the show kind of dipped in quality after that for me. I was a big fan of Season 1, 2, and 3. I think Season 2 is by far the best thing in the Flash so far. I really loved Zoom. I loved the different... I loved Harrison Wells, or Harry Wells in that. But yeah. And then to continue with anime, because I do have now anime stuff for the remainder of the TV shows, I have Part 1, Part 4, and part 5 of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, the objectively best version of Fullmetal Alchemist. And then then I have 2 movies and another complete series of an anime. We have Lupin the Third, the first. We have the Naruto, the last Naruto movie. And then finally, the complete series of Panty and Stockings, or Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt. Okay, Steelbook wise, I have all 3 of the Lord of the Rings films. I have Man of Steel, The Matrix. I have the 4K copy of Shrek's 20th anniversary. I wouldn't mind getting just a regular copy and then displaying the Shrek one. And then my favorite Steelbook is this Star Wars Revenge of the Sith Steelbook. I love the Grievous, and I love the painting on the back. And then inside you got Anakin fighting Obi-Wan. And then to round out the shelf, we have the start of my 4K collection, which is 8 Miles. It's been a long time since I've seen that film, but it was a pretty good film when I watched it. And then we have A Quiet Place, probably my favorite film of the year when it came out, 2018. Yeah, although I think Infinity War came out, if I recall, in 2018 as well, and that one was pretty good. Actually, no, I liked A Quiet Place more. Infinity War was a great film, but my favorite movie of the year is A Quiet Place. We're gonna hydrate, but we're not gonna do what we did in 2021, I think it was, when I died, basically. By hydrate, I mean I'm gonna drink a 150 calorie Pepsi and then document it when I finish this episode, this recording. Continuing the 4Ks, we have A Quiet Place Part 2, which I still have to see. Don't spoil it for me. I'm waiting to watch it with my mom. We watched the first one together. We were planning on going to the theater for the second one, and it got delayed. And then when it came back, she was still a little worried about COVID, so we didn't go to the theater for it. And I told her I bought it, and we still get to... We're both chronic procrastinators, so we have yet to schedule the night or that. Plus I work night shift, so it's kind of hard. Next up we have Alita Battle Angel, which is another film I have yet to see, but I would rather hear about Alita Battle Angel 2 than Avatar 3, 4, 5. Where are we? Are they playing 6 films or up to Avatar 6? I don't know. We have Assassin's Creed. I haven't watched it. I have a plan to watch it. I want to do a video game movie adaptation video as well as a ranking of video game movie adaptations. Or video game adaptations, which will include like TV shows and that as well. I have a lot to watch this year in regards of terrible video game movies and that. You know what's not terrible? Avengers Endgame. A phenomenal conclusion to the MCU. That's all I gotta say. I've kind of checked out on the MCU after that. I've tried to watch some stuff. Yeah, I watched like 1 episode of Moon Knight. That's all I watched so far of the MCU lately. We have The Batman. Batman Year 1 Commemorative Edition on 4K. We have, because it was at a good price, Birds of Prey and The Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. I love that they had to... They did not trust the name. They had to throw Harley Quinn in there. There's no one knew what the name was at this point. It's like that Tom Cruise movie where it's like Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow. I think it was called Edge of Tomorrow, then it was called Live, Die, Repeat. Now it's called Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow. I don't know. Black Adam. I watched this. This was one of the first movies I watched of the new year. And I thought it was alright. It did its job, it entertained me. And I wouldn't mind a sequel, but I don't think we're getting that sequel. Thank you, James Gunn. I have all 3 Captain America movies on 4K. I thought of any of the MCU trilogies so far that I need on 4K. I think the first ones would have been Captain America. And then we have Captain Marvel, which I got at a good price. We have Catwoman, or Catwoman Hunted, I should say. Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. I heard this is based off a true story, and I read into the actual story. Because I haven't watched this film yet, because I'm a big pussy when it comes to horror movies. the dude still went to jail. I think he actually went to a mental asylum for a bit. Because unlike The Conjuring, it's still kind of hard to prove that demons and that are real in real life. Anyways, we have Die Hard. I've never seen Die Hard, pretty sure. And then Everything Everywhere All at Once. I still need to watch this. It looks like a fun film, and I heard it's the best multiverse movie that we got last year. And that's saying something when Multiverse of Madness came out last year. We also have Ex Machina, which I got same time I got the Captain America trilogy. It's one of those artsy films that bores you if you aren't too much into artsy films. I also have Godzilla 2014. I'm gonna put it in the watched, so it's not going into the unwatched, but when I first watched it, it was so dark, and I watched it at like afternoon, so the light was shining in my living room. I couldn't see shit. The only time I saw anything was when there was a little bit of fire on the screen, or the most that I saw in the whole shot was Godzilla opening up one of the other monster's mouths and just breathing his radiation breath right down its throat. Hacksaw Ridge, I got it at the record shop that closed down. I got the original Halloween movie on 4K. Something I want to check out, which is why I bought it. So I finally got The Howling on 4K, still wrapped. If you didn't know, because I didn't really explain any on the other ones, I leave movies that I haven't watched wrapped. There are some that are like, that I found secondhand, so they're not wrapped, and some of them are open because I came up with the rule after I opened those and that, but yeah, so you'll notice there's still some like cellophane in that, but I finally found it. I went on a Blu-ray hunt, if you recall. Didn't find it at the Walmart that I inevitably started working at, and then at the Best Buy, which I then found it there, they had it, but it wasn't stocked at the time. Oh, we have Jim Carrey's Grinch, phenomenal film. I talked about it in my Christmas special. We have the Injustice animated movie, and we have Joker from 2019 starring Joaquin Phoenix. It's one of those films where I'm worried to watch because everyone's like, oh my god, it's a masterpiece. But like, now it has this expectation that it should be really fucking good. So it kind of intimidates me because it's like, well, what if I don't find it good? Which I probably shouldn't have that. I'm going to try working on that more this year, but I have no idea how long I've been recording. So if you're still here, type John Wick in the comments. Speaking of John Wick, which is why I said it, we have John Wick Chapter 2 and John Wick Chapter 3. I'm still looking for John Wick Chapter 1, but I want it with a slipcover. Those are some great films. I can't wait for the next one. And that. Here's the fourth one that comes out this year. Right? It comes out this year, right? It didn't get pushed back, right? Anyways, I have Jurassic Park and Jurassic World on 4K. I still need to get Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 on 4K. My very first ever 4K is Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. I do want to get the one that matches Jurassic Park and Jurassic World, but the thing that upsets me is this will not match it. That's the one thing that upset me about this movie, is that they released it like this. Why is it not match? It doesn't, like, look at the spines. Look at the spines don't even match. Like, what the fuck? Why is blue there? It saddened me when when I saw these, they better make sure that Dominion matches these 4Ks now, and they didn't. That's my only gripe with the film. Yeah, I said it. I loved Dominion. I even loved the Lotus plot line. I have Justice League as well. I've never watched this, and I'd hate to check this out. And then I got the Snyder Cut. I haven't watched this, and it's because it's 4 fucking hours long. Who expects me to have the time to watch a 4 fucking hour long movie, Zach? Now it makes me wonder what his theatrical cut would look like. Give me the Snyder theatrical cut. Because now you gave him all the leeway to make however long of a movie he wanted for Justice League. Now I want you to tell him to cut it down for a theater, and then I'll also check that out. We have Justice Society World War II. If you notice, I have a lot of DC films. I have Lost City. I watched that work. That was pretty good. We have Monster Hunter. which is a movie based off Monster Hunter 4, even though the biggest Monster Hunter game at the time was Monster Hunter World. And me, who would only play Monster Hunter World, watched this and went, what the fuck is going on? Why are they piloting a ship through sand? And then there was just a random bit of body horror. I went, ugh, what the fuck am I watching? There was no warning. We have Moonfall, which was one of the movies that I was hyped for and then I heard it was bad. And then we have Morbius, which was one of the movies I was so hyped for last year, and then I was told it was bad, and then I watched it and I went, it's not that bad. It was fine. It's just a generic Marvel origin story. Next up we have Nobody, which I was hyped for when it came out. I still have yet to watch it. I did open it though because I heard the disc rattling around. We have the 4K copy of Pulp Fiction, which I still need to watch. I don't think I removed Pulp Fiction out of my Blu-rays though, so we'll probably be seeing it later on, and then I'll remove it. And then, you know, I guess in honor of it kind of being better than I heard, for Avatar Way of Water, I have the first Puss in Boots movie on 4K. I do want to check out that Puss in Boots Last Wish. I heard wonderful things about it. Next up we have Rampage, which is one of my favorite video game adaptations. I think it's my second, or no, I think it's my third. We have Raya and the Last Dragon, which was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And we have another Quentin Tarantino movie, Reservoir Dogs, which I've yet to watch. I don't think I really watched any Quentin Tarantino movies in my life. I think I watched Kill Bill 1 and 2, and I think that's it. In another video game movie adaptation, we have the 4K for Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. We have Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I really loved that when I watched it in college. It was a great film. We have Scream. I'm going to put it as a movie that I watched because I recall watching this movie, but I just don't remember when. Because I know like the twists in that. I know plot points in that. I know some characters' names. The only one I remember is Stu, because there's a TikToker that I watch that does a lot of horror movie content, and he loves Stu. I watched 10 minutes of Shang-Chi, and then I turned it off because I was dog sitting my brother's wiener dog, who was like less than a year old at the time, and he likes to piss on everything, and he almost pissed on stuff twice. Well, he did. He almost pissed on my clean clothes, and he ended up pissing on the carpet. My second favorite video game movie adaptation. I need to find the second movie for my video game movie discussion in that. Alright, continuing the 4Ks. This is the last bit of 4Ks. We have Spider-Man Far From Home, and we have Spider-Man No Way Home. I have yet to watch either of them. We have Star Wars films to talk about. We have Phantom Menace, Revenge of the Sith. I'm still trying to bite the bullet on a 4K copy of Attack of the Clones. We have A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and Force Awakens. And now, let's continue to the shitty Star Wars movies. We have Last Jedi. I hate The Last Jedi, but not as much as Rise of Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker, they tried too hard. Like J.J. Abrams tried to turn the boat even more, and he capsized it. We have Top Gun Maverick. I watched this Christmas Eve. Phenomenal film. Probably my favorite from last year. It is my favorite from last year. We have The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. We have Uncharted for my video game stuff. We have one of my favorite Hugh Jackman films that's very underrated, and I can't believe that we're not getting sequels to this. Van Helsing. Great werewolf transformation. Great story, and it's Hugh Jackman fighting vampires and werewolves. Yes, but now since he's retired from Wolverine, even though he's coming back for Deadpool 3, now he's no longer doing. Now that he hasn't been doing Wolverine in that, I doubt we're gonna get something like Van Helsing ever again. So very sweet, but you know, Hugh Jackman, if you ever see this, I love your Van Helsing character. We have Wall-E, and we have Warcraft for my video game movie ranking. And then the last two 4Ks we have Wayne's World and Wonder Woman 1984. I got Wonder Woman 1984 at a good price. Alright, now we're on to actual Blu-rays, but we aren't on the alphabeticals yet. Right now we have my MCU Blu-rays. So we have Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Avengers 1, Iron Man 3, Avengers Age of Ultron, and Doctor Strange. I'm trying to upgrade all these to 4Ks. Continuing my MCU, or finishing up with the last three regular Blu-rays of them, we have Spider-Man Homecoming, Avengers Infinity War, and Black Widow. And now the next section is other Marvel films, but from other studios, you know. So we have the 3 Tobey Maguire films, and the 2 Andrew Garfield films for the Spider-Man movies. We have Logan, which I have yet to watch. We have Once Upon a Deadpool, which is, from what I can recall, it's Deadpool 2, but PG-13. We have Venom, and then, which I hadn't watched, and we have The Wolverine, my favorite Wolverine film, until I probably watch Logan. And then Logan will be my favorite Wolverine film. Next up we have DC films that I have on Blu-ray. So we have Batman 89. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know you saw that number tick up. I know you saw it. We have Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. That one I'm not sorry for, and so it's kind of hard. And then we have Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. Huh, I thought I had Aquaman. I don't know what to do with Aquaman. Oh, Aquaman. Oh yeah, I have them in order of release. We have Wonder Woman, and then we have Aquaman. Because those are the DCEU films. Although I don't know why Apocalypse War is separating it. And then, if you didn't know, Losers is a DC comic. It's made by DC Studios. Next up, we have some of my Disney Pixar films on Blu-ray. We have Aristocats. We have the Atlantis 2-pack. We have Atlantis The Lost Empire and Atlantis Milo Return. But as you can probably tell, I have this for the first one. I can't even tell you what happened in the second one. I watched the second one as well. We have Disney's Dinosaur, my favorite film, and one of the Mondays videos is going to cover 4K remaster. That's just a little sneak peek. We have Disney's Hercules, my favorite. Probably see there. I found a new copy of it for VHS. I do also have planned a VHS video, but I have Disney's Hercules on Blu-ray. We have Home on the Range, The Incredibles, the original Lion King. I can't believe I have to say that. And A Nightmare Before Christmas. I watched this and listened to the soundtrack all of October. And then to finish up the Disney Pixar section, I have Toy Story 1 and 2. I don't have 3 or 4. Next up, Call Me Pedro Pascal, because I have a whole section just for Nic Cage. That was just a reference because his character in Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent has a huge fan appreciation of Nic Cage. We have 211, Bangkok Dangerous, Color Out of Space. This one I didn't realize Amber Heard was in it, even though it was like after I picked it up. But this is Drive Angry. Remember, I picked it up for Cage. I picked it up for The Cage. We have Outcast, where Nicolas Cage is alongside Hayden Christensen. So when Ghost Rider meets Anakin. We have Pig, Prisoner of the Ghostland. And then the one that I need to watch, Willy's Wonderland. I actually hadn't seen most of them. Actually, I hadn't seen any of those. We have my other Star Wars films. So we have the prequels, so that I still have a copy of Attack of the Clones. We have Rogue One, and then we have all 3 of the Family Guy films. Blue Harvest, Something 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 Dark Side, and It's a Trap. This is 99% of the DreamWorks films because the rest of them are behind me. So we have Abominable. We have The Croods. We have the entire How to Train Your Dragon trilogy, which I've seen all but the 3rd one. We have the first Kung Fu Panda film. Monsters vs. Aliens. I have fond memories of watching this in the theater with my grandfather. We have one of my favorite DreamWorks films, The Prince of Egypt. Rise of the Guardians. It was amazing. I think DreamWorks should make this, or the sequel, now that they see how much people love it. We have Shark Tale, which DreamWorks should give us a sequel to Rise of the Guardians, because, you know, Shark Tale exists. And then I have this one mainly because I wanted to watch all the DreamWorks films. Spirit Untamed, the movie, which is based off the TV show, which was based off the original spirit stallion of the Kyrian? I can never pronounce that. So apologies, but you know, there's that. Alright, to finish off the DreamWorks section, we have Trolls as well. Now we're on to the alphabetical section of the Blu-rays and that, till we get to the horror section. So we have a bunch of... We have some numbered films. We have 4 Christmases. We have The 10th Kingdom. 21 Bridges. Rest in Beast. Rest in Beast? Rest in Peace. Chadwick Boseman. I've been talking too long. I mean, Chadwick Boseman was a beast at acting, but still. 50 First Dates. We have A Charlie Brown Christmas. A Million Ways to Die in the West. Angels and Demons. I got it mainly for that boy. And I also enjoyed the film when I first watched it. The Angry Birds movie. Again, video game movie. Anthem of a Teenage Prophet. I got it for that boy. Cal Kestis. We have, I couldn't believe I found this at a Pawn America. The first part of the live-action Attack on Titan film. I wanted to also do one on live-action anime, and then also to finish off the A's, I do have the first Avatar. I'm surprised with how much James Cameron loves like visual quality that there's not a 4K yet. There's no 4K of the first film. It's been out for 13 years. When are we getting the 4K? When Avatar The Way of Water comes out? It's just, best experience is apparently the theater, so if you didn't watch in the theater, sucks to be you, huh? We're on the bees. And the bees go Becky, basically a little girl. It's like John Wick meets Home Alone, and instead of it being just regular thieves, from what I could recall, I think Kevin James is supposed to be like a Nazi or something. We have Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. And I also have Bill and Ted Face the Music. I thought it was alright. We have Blade Runner 2049? Yeah, 2049. Bohemian Rhapsody. Funny story, when I bought this, my brother and father have seen this because I lent it to them and I didn't watch it. But when I bought this, it was in one of those Walmart security cases, and I got all the way home. And when I got home, I went to go take it out, put it on my shelf, right? It still had the security case on it, and me not wanting to like break the law, even though I paid for this, and busting the security case open, I took it all the way back to the Walmart, which is the Walmart I work at now. Took it all the way back to that one, walked in, set off the alarm, which I then found out that I already set the alarm off when I first walked out with it, which is just a little chime that goes do 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 do, which sounded like someone was getting a text when I first walked out. But I then went up to the counter with my receipt, and this I went, hey, I got all the way home. They went, how'd you get out of the store? And I went, I don't know. So then they kindly took it out, and I left. And then we have the Bourne movies. So we have Bourne Supremacy, Bourne Ultimatum, Bourne Identity, The Bourne Legacy, the worst one. And we have Jason Bourne. That was a Breakfast at Tiffany's, the movie version of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which came out way before the TV show. And then I have Bumblebee. For C's, I have Catch Me If You Can. I watched that in Personal Finance in high school. Chaos Walking, City Slickers. I love that film. It's a great comedy. The original Clash of the Titans from 1981. We have the 2010 Clash of the Titans, one of my favorite Greek mythology movies. We have Contagion, Constantine, which if you didn't know, Constantine 2 is happening with Keanu Reeves. And finally we have Coraline. Alright, on to the D's. We have Dark Crime. I want to do a video on all of Jim Carrey's roles, so I've been picking up all the movies he's been in. Dead Rising Endgame, which is a sequel. I gotta find the other movies of this apparently. This is for the video game movie. Detective Pikachu, Dodgeball. Remember the five D's of Dodgeball. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. It's a classic comedy. We have Dragon Wars, which is a movie where dragons go to war against each other. And last time I watched it was my friend Sophie, who lived in the town that I lived in. We were great friends. We were watching it during a sleepover, and we were just going like, yeah, dragon, But now she lives in California, so I need to make it a priority to get out to California to watch Dragon Wars with her again. They have Broly Triple Threat. This has all 3 Broly movies, but really Bio Broly is ignored and I've never seen it, and I'm not putting it in the thing, so no. And then I have all the Dragon Ball Super movies. Or basically I have the first arc of Dragon Ball Super, the second arc of Dragon Ball Super, and then Dragon Ball Super Broly. I have yet to watch Dragon Ball Super Superheroes. I'm waiting for that to come out on Blu-ray and that. We have Drobit Taylor, which is what I expected high school to be, and it turned out to not be that. And then we have The Duff, which I can't remember. Designated Ugly Fat Friend, that's what it stands for. And then I think these are all the E's? No, there's one more E. So we have 3 E's. We have Earth Girls Are Easy, which stars Jeff Goldblum, Damon Wayans, and Jim Carrey. I think that was one of Jim Carrey's first roles. And then we also have Bo Burnham's 8th Grade, which I watched part of it, and I had to turn off because I was watching it before bed, and I was like, no, this isn't a before bed film. I'm getting uncomfortable because it is reminding me of middle school. Alright, the final E is E.T. the Extraterrestrial. I want to get this on 4K. When I was a kid, around 5, I had a fear of E.T. I thought I'd just say that to you. Because remember, I also have a fear of frogs, and now that I think about it, E.T. does kind of look like a frog. So I have both of the Fantastic Beasts movie, or the first 2 movies. I need to get the 3rd one, and with the age of Hogwarts Legacy, it's making me wonder the double standards. No one got mad when people were buying the movie and that. There are these movies, but now the video game is a problem. I do want to make I think I'll make a video on that, like point out the weird double standards and stuff like that, and also like the whole situation. But that's gonna take a while, and the Hogwarts Legacy stuff will probably be irrelevant by the time that video comes out. We have Finding Neverland, we have Fire Breather. I forgot to mention we're now on the F's. We have Fred Claus, which I covered in the Christmas special along with 4 Christmases. Now we're on to G's. If I can grab all the G's. We have Gemini Man. This is for a series I want to start called Split Reactions. Gifted. We have The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, as well as The Girl in the Spider's Web. We have Godzilla, King of the Monsters. The Greatest Showman. I watched like half of this and I turned it off. Not because it was bad, but because I have a hard time with musicals. I find musicals boring, but the songs are great. It's a double-edged sword. I will start falling asleep to a musical, but I will listen to the musical's music. We have the Illumination Grinch film, which just to point out, because a friend was wondering why I have 2 copies of the film. This is a box set. It has a Blu-ray, and then it has, if I can get them out, it has like these little Christmas cards in that. So yeah, it's like a box set. And then we have one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies from the past decade, Grown Ups. I gotta go faster because I'm running out. The camera's about to die. Might have to continue filming this a different time. But also another thing, I did wait till an Amazon Prime Day, so I got a discount on this. So I made sure the least amount of money went to J.K. Rowling. So I don't want to hear anyone complain about it. I did buy the 8 film collection of Harry Potter. I think I spent about $30 on it, and it was $60 originally. So yeah, because apparently Hogwarts Legacy is bad. I'm gonna get fucking canceled for my sarcasm. I got Hellboy, the remake. Got Hook. I watched this at my uncle's when my dad was living with my uncle, because that was the middle, it was the middle of a divorce. And we got Horns, which I need to check out. It's one of Daniel Radcliffe's first films after Harry Potter. We have Hotel Artemis. I got it for that guy, Jeff Goldblum, one of my favorite actors. We have How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And then we have all 4 of the Hunger Games movies, and if I recall, a fifth one is going to be made soon. Got a new one. Okay, H Eyes. Now we're on the eyes. We have Ice Age, classic film, I Am Legend. The dog scene always gets me, even though I haven't watched the full film. I have seen the scene every time I caught it on TV. We have Immortals, which is one of my other favorite films, and it took me a long time to remember that that was Henry Cavill, Superman in a Greek mythology film. We have Inception. I watched that on a bus to Florida. We have Independence Day, great film. We have Independence Day Resurgence, bad film. And we have The Iron Giant. It's been a while since I've seen The Iron Giant. Alright, let's try and get through these fast before my camera dies. We have Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. We have The Judge. We have Jumper. I love this film. We have the first Jumanji. And we have Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle. I need to get Jumanji Next Level. I need to check that out. I was thoroughly surprised by Welcome to the Jungle. We have Lost World, since I don't have the 4K yet. And we have Jurassic Park 3. Again, I don't have the 4K, and they will end up on one of those two shelves there when I get the 4Ks anyways. Only 3. I have Kevin Hart, I'm a Grown Little Man. I love this comedy special. Favorite of his comedy specials. It's the one I also watch the most. We have The Kid. And we have Killing Season. The only thing I remember from ever seeing anything about this film is Robert De Niro shooting an arrow through John Travolta's cheeks in one shot, and then in the trailer, and then the next shot in the trailer you see John Travolta has big plus marks on his cheeks from where the arrow and the arrow had gone through, and that. And then the L's. I don't think it's all the L's. No, there's one more L. But we have Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Last Night in Soho. I got it for the man in the corner there. Actually, there's a better shot of him. The man right there, Matt Smith. My favorite part of Morbius, too, was Matt Smith, because you know that he was having the time of his life. We have The Legend of Tarzan, and we have The Lighthouse, which I have yet to watch. Finish up the L's, we have The Little Things. And now onto M's. I'm sorry if you feel like I'm rushing. It's mainly because there's one bar left on the battery. And I don't want to try and record a second time for this. We have Maggie, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. We have Man on the Ledge, which I bought for Sam Worthington. I'm a big fan of Sam Worthington. And we have The Martian. We're on the M's, by the way. I loved The Martian when I saw that. Continuing on with the M's, we have The Meg. We have Men. We should be in the horror films, but I didn't feel like putting in the horror films. We have the first 2 Men in Black films, because those are the only 2 that I really care for. And then we have 2 of the 3 Mortal Kombat films. We have one N, as Noah. We have 2 O films. We have 1 Hour Photo, one of the creepiest performances done by Robin Williams. Phenomenal actor, rest in peace. And we have Office Space, which is one of those films that has the little Deadpool cover, because I'm pretty sure Deadpool 2 is coming out for this. Alright, P's. We have Paper Towns, which is a movie that I was hoping to make one day, because we read the book in high school, and I went, man, this would be a great film. And like to myself, out loud to myself, I'd be like, I want to make this film. And I start picturing like actual scenes, like people, or like how the movie could play out with like the scenes of that. And then 2 weeks later, my English teacher went, "Hey, they just announced they're gonna make a Paper Towns film." I went, "What the fuck?" I didn't say that out loud because I didn't want to go to the office. But anyway, Hollywood, where's my royalty checks? I have nothing to do with that film, but I feel like you're listening. We have Parasite. I want to get the 4K, but I also need to watch that first. We have The Patriot, which I had to buy a new case. Or I got a new case for it. We have the first Percy Jackson film, which I don't mind this film, although it does have problems the more and more I talk to my friend who's obsessed with Percy Jackson, to the point where I promised them, because I told them all the wrong things about the movie. I'm now reading the graphic novel, which is true to the original story, by the way. Then we also have the second movie, the Sea of Monsters. This was where even I went, this is bad. We have Mr. Popper's Penguins. Here's the Pulp Fiction. And we have Push. Here are the R's. We have Rambo Last Blood, which I accidentally bought the... I was buying this for the split reactions. Found out there was split reactions, but the thing that I needed was, I think it was Rocky 5 for that. I don't remember which Rocky film, but there's a split reactions to a Rocky film. And I saw Rambo for Last Blood, and I went, ah yes, Rocky. So, Ready Player One, I didn't mind it. Robin Hood, with Taron Egerton. We have Robots. My favorite comedic duo is Ewan McGregor and Robin Williams. We have Rogue, which is, I need to read the back. Megan Fox tackles a thrilling new role as a battle-hardened mercenary in this explosive action saga. As teen Lear O'Hare, she leads a lively squad of soldiers on a daring mission to rescue hostages from their captors in remote Africa. But as the mission goes wary and the team is stranded, O'Hare's squad must face a bloody, brutal encounter with a gang of rebels and the horde of ravenous, enraged lions they encounter. Megan Fox as a battle-hardened mercenary fighting bloodthirsty lions and dangerous rebels. And we have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the original stop motion. For S's, we have Salt. I watched this at work. It was pretty good. We have the first Scooby-Doo live action film with the one and only Matthew Lillard. And then this is, if I remember, this is where Sarah Michelle Gellar met Freddie Prinze Jr. And they've been married ever since. So Daphne and Fred in real life also got together, which was amazing. We have The Shack. I bought this for my boy Sam Worthington, as well as Skillet did a version of their song Stars, which was the acoustic version for this film. It's kind of a film about a man finding God after, I think his he spirals into a crisis of faith after his daughter, I think, gets kidnapped and killed, if I recall. And so then God intervenes in that, and he basically tells him everything's alright. I haven't watched it yet. We have Shadow in the Cloud, which interests me. We have The Social Network. I got this for... There he is. There's also... He's right there. The Garfield. And I have Spiderwick Chronicles. Remember I did a Hey Remember on that. Tease. Alright. We have Takers, which I got for my boy in the hat, Hayden Christensen. I watched this once. I loved it. We have Tekken 2, which means there's a Tekken 1. We have Terminator, which I need to watch. Terminator 2, which I need to watch. Terminator Dark Fate, which I'm scared to watch. How do you fuck up Terminator 2 with your sequel? That's what I've heard that. Anyways, we have This Is the End. I love this comedy. I love all the actors in it. We're not gonna fuck Hermione Granger. I love that part with where Emma Watson just kicks all their asses. And then we have Titanic. We have Tomb Raider, which is, I think, my favorite video game movie adaptation. We have Tombstone. I love that film. My dad loves that film. My favorite Christmas film, Tom and Jerry Nutcracker Tale. And we have Twister. We have One You, and that is Uncut Gems, which I still need to watch. We have Waterboy, one of my favorite Adam Sandler comedies. We have Wedding Singer, another one of my favorite Adam Sandler films. We have Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Wild Hogs. I loved this when it came out, and every time I watch it, I go, "Hey, Dudley from Jurassic Park 3." Or I should say, in order. I go, "Hey, it's the guy from Wild Hogs in Jurassic Park 3." And then we have Wrath of the Titans. I loved this, and I'm sad we haven't gotten Revenge of the Titans, which is what was name dropped for the sequel to it. Final section is my horror movies, so let's go through that quick. We have Alien, we have Aliens, we have Annabelle. I have a friend who will refuse to watch these movies, the Annabelle movies, because he watched it once and he was too afraid to watch them ever again. Annabelle Creation, Dr. Sleep. I think you know why I bought it. I've never seen The Shining, and I bought Dr. Sleep. I think you know why. We have The Dead Don't Die. It's an anthology film that takes place during a zombie apocalypse. We have Daybreakers. I bought it because of him. I bought it because of him. Bought it because of him. I bought it because of that. I love this film. It's such a good film. We have Come Play, which is based off a short film called Larry, if I recall. I think the short film also is on here, and it's an interesting premise. We have Halloween 2018, Get Out. We have Dracula Untold, which is part of the the Universal Dark, or the Dark Universal Revival cinematic universe. They wanted to bring back their horror films, so this and the Tom Cruise Mummy film, and this was the best one out of the two. And it still is a good film. I watched half of this because I walked in to the house as my roommate was watching it, and he was already halfway through. I went, oh, I don't mind watching Dracula Untold. I gotta watch the beginning half, but Tom Cruise's Mommy. Yeah, you learn more things about how bad that film was. It stopped. We don't have a sequel to this because of that film. And that's basically it. We have It Comes at Night. It's a split reaction. Jaws. I watched this sleep deprived during the winter in college, so it wasn't scaring me out of the water. But maybe if I watch it in the summer, it'll scare me out of the water. We have Mother, another split reactions movie, and we have Studio 666, the Foo Fighters horror film. Rest in peace, Taylor Hawkins. We have The Number 23, starring Jim Carrey. We have the first Predator film, and then let me just grab the rest of these. I have all the Resident Evil movies on Blu-ray, since someone wants me to rank the Resident Evil movies. I have Psycho. I watched this in high school. It's a good film. I can see why it's an iconic classic. We have The Shining, because I do want to watch The Shining. We have Slender Man, which is taboo, I would say, in Wisconsin from the Slender Man stabbings. We here in Wisconsin actually barely showed this in theaters, and I heard it was bad, so I can't wait to watch it. If you don't know what happened, there was a stabbing incident of a little girl. She got stabbed, I think, like 16 times by two friends as they were trying to summon Slender Man. And it's known as the Slender Man stabbings. We have Split. We have The Thing. It's a split reactions movie, and by split I mean back when it came out it was a blockbuster flop, but now it's a cult classic. We have The Wolf of Snow Hollow. We have the Benicio del Toro Wolfman movie from 2010, which is I'm going to call a split reactions, because back in the day it was bad, but now I think it's a cult classic as well. It's also got Anthony Hopkins, Emily Blunt, and Hugo Weaving. And we have another movie starring Daniel Radcliffe from one of his first after Harry Potter, The Woman in Black. So let's look at the total amount of movies that I have. Wow, what an amount! I don't know which side of the camera, side of the frame I'm putting these on, but wow, what an amount of movies! How many have I not seen? Wow, that's a lot. I hope it's still a split half and half. I found out last year that it was almost perfectly half I hadn't seen, half I have, but I feel like that's changed now. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a very long video. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Become Time Traveler today. There are more movies to get this year. A lot of good movies came out near the end of last year that will be bleeding in, and hopefully we have a lot of good movies and bad movies to purchase this year. But until then, I hope you enjoyed, and let me know what you guys have in your Blu-ray collections. As always, see you in the future. Bye guys.